The ABC St. Louis studios. This is the Allman Report.
Hello, is this thing on? Welcome to the Allman Report. Hi, I'm Ayesha. Jamie's out sick, Steve is out sick, so I'm here to fill in. Get well soon, guys. Ain't the same without you. But first, we're going to start things off with the Allman Report newsreel.
Allman Report newsreel.
Voters heading to the polls tomorrow, voting on whether to keep the e-tax. Also on the ballot, bonds for school districts and candidates for munis. We will have much more on that tomorrow night on the Allman Report. Well, the search for the University of Missouri's next president is still on. A search committee is asking the public to chime in. It's having forums all week. Today's forum was here in St. Louis at UMSL. The university has been without a president since Tim Wolf resigned in November because of all those crazy protests we all remember. Well, the Illinois legislature is back in session, but still not talking about a budget. Instead, it's bills about fantasy sports betting and medical marijuana. The state's been without a budget since last summer. Governor Bruce Rauner and Democrats who control the legislature are in a stalemate over spending and taxes. Well, some very powerful people around the world found hiding potentially trillions of dollars in offshore tax havens. A leak exposed what's called the Panama Papers, showing close associates of Russian President Vladimir Putin and officials with FIFA, you know, the soccer guys. The documents are from a law firm in Panama that allegedly helped these guys and potentially a dozen current or former leaders evade taxes. Shame on them. Well, Donald Trump ready to take on Ted Cruz in Wisconsin tomorrow in the primaries. Trump saying despite the polls there, he's confident in winning the nomination. Trump talking exclusively with our national correspondent.
They want jobs, they want the economy, they want a strong military, they want to take care of their vets, they want to end Obamacare. All things that I win on every poll about. I mean, every single poll. I win on the military, I win on the border. The Border Patrol just endorsed me yesterday. They've never done that before.
The Wisconsin primary happening tomorrow.
This has been the Allman Report newsreel.
JB talked with Fox Business Channel's Maria Bartiromo about Trump and Wisconsin. Polls are saying about 70% of women see him negatively. But is that true? Jamie says his audiences are saying something way different. The St. Louis-based MMA fighter used to taking hits in the ring is now teaching underprivileged kids to stand up for themselves. That story is coming up next. Don't go away. Changing lives through the sport of wrestling. That's what Ferguson-born and professional MMA fighter Tyron Woodley is doing. I met with him to talk more on how he's giving back to the community.
You'll take this hand, boom, let's bicep down.
They call him the Chosen One.
Snap, snap to the mat.
A nickname that's appropriately fitting.
So that I have the advantage.
Mixed martial artist and former amateur Mizzou wrestler Tyron Woodley is choosing to give back.
Wrestling has been a huge inspiration to me as an athlete and also as a young man. So this is just my platform so I can reach kids, so I can motivate them.
Some of these kids are homeless. And if they're lucky, they may be able to find temporary space at a local shelter. But the one thing that creates camaraderie between all of them is their love for the sport, which Woodley teaches them on his own time at no cost.
I've been in the same situation these kids. I've been evicted from a home before. I've been in a situation where 13 people in a house and one mom. A lot of these kids have low self-esteem, and they're in situations that they can't really control.
Ellery Cole is only 12 and has had his share of not having a stable home.
After we moved from that shelter, we went to my uncle's house. And then after my uncle's house, we went to another shelter.
While for some people this type of circumstance can lead to a path of destruction, for Ellery,
God has an opportunity for me, and that he's going to have a path for me, and that I will be take care of.
How does it make you feel being here?
It makes me feel like I'm actually a real type of wrestler, and kind of awesome experience.
When the set comes up,
Woodley says he doesn't feel sorry for these kids. Instead, he tells them,
life is not fair. I don't care that you live in a ghetto. I don't care if you live in East St. Louis. You know, you will have an opportunity in your life to be successful.
Words of encouragement that Woodley hopes go beyond than just the mat.
Now, Woodley works with some of these kids from the Loaves and Fishes shelter in St. Louis, a shelter that's noticing a slight increase of homeless children coming through, which means a need for more funding. So if you'd like to help, we've got plenty more information on our website at abcstlouis.com. Well, the Weber Chevrolet heat phone is on a little holiday with the Aqua phone, but we've got some of his best calls re-racked up next. Well, with Jamie and Steve both out sick today, we dug this out of the Allman Report vault. We talked to Cedric the Entertainer a few months ago about a few things, including his latest movie, Barbershop 3, which is coming to theaters next Thursday.
Stop there, through my age out there.
Well, thanks for tuning in for the Allman Report and allowing me to be your host. You can catch Jamie on the radio for the Allman in the Morning on FM News Talk 97.1 from 5 to 9, and we'll see you back here weeknights at 5 and 10. Jamie, get well soon. It is time now to take a look at what you are talking about on social media. It's the trend line. A loss for the St. Louis Cardinals on opening day in Pittsburgh. Boo. That's okay. We did get a chance to see Matt Holliday on first base for a little bit. Holliday had to move back to the outfield after Tommy Pham had to leave the game the second inning. The Cards tried to come back in the ninth. Adam Wainwright with the start. He says that he's on track to be fully recovered, but he's not quite there yet. Look at what's coming to Busch Stadium this year. John Goodman, bobbleheads. Steve Church, did you hear that? That's your buddy. Well, if you buy a special theme ticket to the Cardinals' July 6th game against the Pirates, the St. Louis native and Afton High School grad was characteristically modest when giving the Cardinals a quote about the John Goodman night, saying in a press release, quote, "The hardest part is trying to act cool through this huge honor." Well, I hope we get to meet him when he is here. Well, the other big April sporting event is WrestleMania, of course. Roman Reigns taking the championship belt from the defending champion Triple H. And WWE diva Charlotte defending her title pretty successfully there.
Now, get that guy and take that. I'll take it, damn it.
Of course, we had to bleep that one out. That was the last time Guns N' Roses came to St. Louis back in 1991. I was 11? Never mind, doesn't matter. Well, when frontman Axl Rose dove into the crowd to grab someone's camera, lots of mullets in this video, as you can see. The band had St. Louis on the list for a new tour, but then St. Louis disappeared from the list today.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, the big lie, Obamacare.
How can I read this without keeping a straight face? Donald Trump is worse interpreted by a guitar player. This guy was challenged by a buddy to play a Trump speech on the guitar, so he did it. It is trending right now on Reddit. Up next, we're looking at one of our favorite interviews here on the Allman Report. Cedric the Entertainer. Can't get better than that.